From a 40-yard stunner to the craziest own goal the game has ever seen, these are the shocking football moments that can't be repeated. Kicking things off, Valentino Laro scored a goal so crazy you'll have to see it to believe what players come up with when they have too much time to practice. The game's in hand as Harris unveils the flip throw, firing the ball into the box. It comes down, setting up a bicycle kick, and it's in. The dude literally did a front flip to throw the ball. Now, this was rare, but what was William Accio up to here? A right-booted cross into the box, a second effort, and no. Did Accio just clear that off the line himself? Talk about sabotaging your own teammate. The ball was clearly going in, yet somehow he managed to keep it out. It still doesn't add up. Maybe he had a bet against his team scoring, or was undercover for the other side. Speaking of not being on the same page, Ander Herrera and David De Gea had a bizarre moment. Everton was up against Manchester United and got a free kick just outside the box. Sigurdsson stepped up, completely confident, but guess who had the same idea? Ander Herrera. He decided to play the hero by standing at the first bar. But when the goalkeeper told him to move back to the wall, Herrera complied, and Sigurdsson hit the exact spot De Gea told Herrera to leave wide open. Man, De Gea might have been waiting for Herrera outside the stadium after that one. But nothing beats the craziness in France, where a defender scored one of the wildest own goals ever. He had plenty of time to pick a pass, move forward, or even boot the ball to safety. Instead, he opted for an acrobatic bicycle kick into his own net. Completely unnecessary. And this happened while he had a teammate like Evgeny Cherov on his team. Fun fact, Cherov is an outfield player, but he pulled off a back save most goalkeepers couldn't manage without using his hands. Saved a goal with his back? That's a skill move you don't see in FIFA. Then there's Theo Hernandez in turbo mode. He sprinted 71.6 meters from his own goal to score one of the most electrifying solo efforts ever. With defenders like Hernandez, who even needs attackers? But wait, there's Giroud. This guy scored a goal so insane that even Einstein would have been scratching his head. No wonder he won the Puskas Award that year, though some still argue if he truly deserved it. And while Giroud's scorpion kick was unforgettable, goalkeepers also have their moments. One pulled off a bicycle kick so audacious it would have been legendary, if not for Adama Diomande and Onel Hernandez. The duo combined for a synchronized bicycle kick goal, perfectly in sync, like something out of a choreographed performance. To this day, it's hard to tell who actually scored. Sometimes, though, it's all about being in the right place at the right time. Divock Origi knows this well. Liverpool versus Everton in the Merseyside Derby, 2018. The game was headed for a draw until Origi went into clutch mode. Virgil van Dijk's speculative attempt led to a chaotic rebound, and Origi capitalized, sending Anfield into a frenzy. On the flip side, there are moments that leave everyone stunned for all the wrong reasons. Take Choupo-Moting's infamous blunder in League One. Strasbourg and PSG were locked at 1-1, and PSG was pushing for the winner. Nuno Mendes set up a golden chance, and as the ball was rolling into the net, Choupo-Moting somehow managed to stop it from crossing the line. Unreal, but if we're talking unreal, Pogba on the ball is always a sight to behold. Known for his flair and creativity, Pogba thrives when paired with a rock-solid defensive midfielder like Kanté. During the World Cup, this duo unlocked one of the most jaw-dropping assists you'll ever see. Pogba's vision and execution were nothing short of magical, and with Kanté covering the dirty work, the midfield was untouchable. Football truly delivers moments you'll never forget, whether they're jaw-dropping brilliance or outright baffling chaos. Football just hits differently when Zlatan's around, doesn't it? Speaking of magic on the pitch, we all remember Zlatan Ibrahimovic's iconic bicycle kick against England, right? 30 yards out, pure sorcery with his feet. But here's the kicker. Imagine pulling off something just as jaw-dropping with your head. Sounds unreal? Well, someone actually did it. Dude had a bullet for a head, a literal bullet. But if you know anything about Zlatan, you know he's not the type to let a challenge like that slide. He calls himself God for a reason, and trust me, Zlatan doesn't just talk the talk, he owns it. This guy has played for some of the biggest clubs in the world: Juventus, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Barcelona, Manchester United, you name it. The man's a walking highlight reel. After leaving Manchester United, Zlatan moved to LA Galaxy in the MLS. Let's be honest, back then, the MLS wasn't exactly the global spectacle it is today. People thought, that's it, Zlatan's done. But come on, are we really talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic here? Finished? Never. Fast forward to a match against Toronto FC. LA Galaxy was down by 2 goals, and things looked bleak. Toronto was running the show, and the game seemed all but over. But Zlatan had other plans. Just before halftime, he scored a goal so outrageous it left everyone stunned. A lofted ball into the area, and Zlatan spun midair, delivering a karate-style volley to net his 500th career goal. Absolutely insane. Who else scores their 500th goal like that? But just when you think it can't get crazier than Zlatan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu drops a stunner. Hamburg versus Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. The match was winding down, but Hakan decided to make a statement. From 41 yards out, he unleashed a long-range free kick with so much dip and swerve it looked like a guided missile. Even the crowd couldn't believe their eyes. From Çalhanoğlu's long-range brilliance to Robert Lewandowski's unparalleled goal-scoring prowess, Lewandowski has always been a machine. Back in his Dortmund days, he was a star, but people often downplay his achievements, claiming it's easy to score in the Bundesliga. Come on, this guy is the 3rd highest goal scorer in Champions League history. That's not just impressive, it's legendary. Under Barcelona's new coach, Lewandowski has been on fire, but his 24-15 Bundesliga season remains unmatched. Bayern Munich was trailing 1-0 to Wolfsburg at halftime, and Wolfsburg was dominating. Then Pep Guardiola, the tactical genius, made the call that changed everything. He brought on Lewandowski, and what happened next was pure magic. In just 9 minutes, Lewandowski scored 5 goals. Yes, 5 goals in 9 minutes. It was a performance so unreal they started calling it the show. How do you top that? Maybe you do it with a miracle. Remember Barcelona's legendary 2016-17 Champions League comeback against PSG? PSG had obliterated Barca 4-0 in the first leg. Heading into the second leg, even the most die-hard Barca fans were skeptical. A 4-0 deficit? That's Mount Everest in the return leg. Barcelona came out swinging. Suarez scored in the 3rd minute, and Barca quickly added 2 more goals. However, when Cavani scored for PSG, it seemed like the dream was over. Barcelona needed 3 more goals in the dying minutes. Then the impossible happened. Neymar curled in a free kick, converted a penalty, and in the 95th minute, he floated a ball into the box. Sergi Roberto stretched and scored, sending Camp Nou into absolute madness. It was a once-in-a-lifetime comeback, a moment that will live forever in football history. Speaking of living legends, how about René Higuita? Nicknamed El Loco, the Madman, Higuita was a goalkeeper like no other. He played with flair, took insane risks, and even scored goals, 43 of them to be exact. He was the OG sweeper keeper, dominating the field like it was his playground. Higuita's most outrageous moment? That scorpion kick save. A routine ball came his way, and instead of using his hands, he jumped forward, arched his back, and cleared it with his heels. It was risky, audacious, and pure madness, just like Higuita himself. Football is full of moments that take your breath away, from Zlatan's acrobatics to Barca's miracles, from Lewandowski's show-stopping performance to Higuita's insane scorpion kick. And if you're not subscribed to FC Freak yet, you're missing out on all the magic.